Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Besties Do Verticals with your besties, Lucy and Aleta. Hi, I'm Aleta.
And I'm Lucy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. We are so excited to recap Bound to My Hot Rival. Before we get started, I wanted to talk a little bit about a correction we need to do. You probably noticed in our first episode that we might have dropped Hunter Industries instead of Everett Industries. So I just wanted to call out myself here that this was noticed in post, and it was just crazy town because we're kind of newbie podcasters here, and I am quite new to editing in the program that I'm using. And when it was noticed, Aleta did beg me to let us fix it, and I said no. So that's on me, y'all.
Well, I guess I can't feel too bad because Greg did the same thing when he held his watch party with friends for Straight Until He Kissed Me. Although he definitely hadn't watched it as many times as I have at that point. What with dissecting it for edits and everything. I'm just telling myself that I'm in good company.
You definitely are. Another thing we wanted to comment on is, I know originally we said we were going to do our release dates on Sundays. We do want to change them to Thursdays. So the way the schedule is after this one releases, we've released this on a Thursday, you should see the next one coming out the following Thursday. Another thing that the boo-boo with Hunter Industries and Everett Industries sparked for Aleta and I is that if you ever actually hear anything false on our podcast, please feel free to email us at bestiesdoverticals@gmail.com. Besties Do Verticals is all one word, lowercase. So we are a podcast that just chats and we share our personal opinions, but we are always going to try to be factual. So just in case someone's listening and you're like, hey, that's not a thing, please definitely email us and we will issue a correction.
And now we're going to get into our recap of Bound to My Hot Rival. This is the summary from IMDb. Shane never planned on crossing Roman Volkov. Now he belongs to his rival, his enemy, his captor. And the worst part? He's starting to want to. This vertical was released on DramaPops, filmed by Cosmic Verticals, and the director is Amanda Fallon-Smith.
And bestie, there is no way I'm letting you recap this. I have to. I've got to recap this. I'm stealing the show. All right, guys. So, Bound to My Hot Rival opens to a fight scene. We see Roman Volkov, the Wolf, played by Tristan Green, and Shane Brooks, the Thunder, played by Declan Clifford, in a boxing ring during a match. We learn an hour before the fight that the club owner, Raquel, played by Annalisa Southwall, told Shane and his coach, Jax Hollander, played by Jack Guzman, that she needed him to throw the fight in the second round. Shane is very upset by this, as winning the fight against Roman could mean something big for his career. Raquel threatens to shoot Jax if Shane doesn't comply. It cuts back to the boxing match where we see Roman noticing that Shane is hesitating. There is some internal dialogue here for Shane where he's struggling on what to do, but confesses that Jax is basically also his father, the man who raised him, and he needs to throw the fight for him. Roman then turns to baiting him verbally to get the reaction he wants. Roman says, "Who's your daddy now?" to Shane during a clinch. So I had to look this up. When two boxers hug in the ring during a match, it's called a clinch, and they do it as a defensive tactic to stop their opponent from landing punches, which allows them to catch their breath. Look at that. I'm learning stuff, Aleta. I learned stuff. So excited.
Good.
This is the final thing to set Shane off and risk his coach's life. and he ends the match with an effective uppercut. I was going to comment, I actually really love this scene. So when Roman goes down, they did it in slow motion, and I thought it looked really cool. And it just added to the intensity of the decision that Shane just made. You can see in Shane's eyes, he really screwed up. And you can see in Roman's eyes that he actually kind of loved it. And I think it turned him on.
My first impression of the Vertical was that it is very heated rivalry vibes in terms of the atmosphere and the cinematography. The lighting is dark and moody, and it's beautifully filmed. As you know, I'm not a fan of violence, so the boxing aspect actually really put me off the Vertical initially. It's just not my cup of tea. However, I must say that the fight scenes were very well choreographed and convincing. Kudos to Declan and Tristan for pulling that off.
Oh my gosh, I love that you actually said that. That was something I felt really set this Vertical apart from the others, is the fight scenes were extremely convincing. I very much agree with you. The aftermath of not throwing the fight, we learn from a very angry Raquel that she just lost $20 million because Shane didn't listen to her. I kind of wanted to make comments on Annalisa. Oh my gosh, I'm going to try not to screw it up. I'm sorry, girl. You're amazing. I love you. She is hands down one of the best Vertical villains I have ever seen. So I did a deep dive on her on Instagram. She's incredible. She's actually a classically trained actress, and her singing, oh my gosh, it's insane. I think she needs to be doing leads. I need her in a Girl Love, if she's up for playing that, of course. But, playing a similar character to Raquel, like, I don't know. I love her. And I need to send you her, the Instagram of her singing. She is amazing. Just FYI. Just as Raquel was about to kill Jax, Roman steps in. We learn that Raquel actually works for Roman's family, the Volkovs. Roman pays Raquel the $20 million back in cash. When Shane goes to thank Roman for rescuing them, Roman tells him, "This isn't a rescue. I've acquired you." Shane does not like that and goes to leave. Roman says, "You're strong, Shane. I like it when my pets are strong. Makes it even more satisfying when I break them." Okay, as a dark romance girly, I go, ooh. Shane does get out of there, but is then chased by Raquel's men. She still wants to make him pay, even though Roman paid off his debt. Shane gets away and is picked up by a lawyer. Shane gets into a car with this man and is told that the lawyer's employer wants to hire him, and he shares an employment contract. If Shane agrees, he will be paid $20 million. Shane ends up agreeing and signs the contract and is driven to his new employer's home. Who should Shane's new employer be? None other than Roman Volkov. There is a very sexy introduction scene, beautifully lit and filmed by the Cosmic Verticals production team. We see Roman just sensually, perfectly walk down the stairs. I don't know. It has the intended effect. Also, just my notes here. I love Shane's expression here looking up at him. Like, Declan just outdid himself in this frickin' Vertical. Like, his eyes, their eyes, like the entire Vertical, I felt like they were acting so deeply with their eyes just half the time. And I loved how, I assume that's the intention, right? Like, the camera must have really focused on their eyes, and I just felt like half of the acting was done through, they didn't even need to say words. Like, their chemistry was just so good. Roman tries to exert dominance over Shane in the scene, reminding Shane that the contract he signed basically says he must be at Roman's beck and call. Eventually, Roman succeeds, and we are treated to some serious tension between the two before Roman orders Shane to go upstairs and shower. We get a gratuitous shot of Shane in tidy whities, and I may have to give a personal shout out to the spanking scene. If you know, you know. And if you want to know more, definitely watch The Vertical. So, something also to note, for the actors. It is so hard to remain respectful of all involved because of how steamy because of how steamy this particular vertical is. Tristan, Declan, I am going to damn well try. I'm trying. Bear with me, guys.
Another subtle detail in this first scene of Roman's villa was very heated rivalry to me. As Roman's coming down the stairs, he's swirling an amber liquor in a crystal tumbler. It very much reminded me of the scene where Shane and Ilya are in the hotel room and Ilya has a tumbler of vodka. Same vibes.
No, that's so true. Gosh, now you're making me want to rewatch Heated Rivalry. I've watched Bound to My Hot Rival more than I've watched Heated Rivalry, which I don't know. I feel crazy saying that.
We're vertical girlies.
Yep, that's right. So episodes 7 through 9 is pure fantasy play for dark romance girlies. We have hair pulling, a good boy, some mild humiliation, and two of the most iconic lines in this vertical. But I will say there's a lot of iconic lines. I'm not like that. I'm not gay, from Shane, and how do you know, from Roman. And we ended on Shane saying, you can buy my body, Roman, but you can't buy my heart. And honestly, I thought there actually was a lot to unpack in these 3 episodes. But since we are trying to keep the podcast under 45 minutes, I just had to give you all the cliff notes. Sorry. Go watch it. It's amazing. So the next day, we find Roman and Shane at a boxing gym. It appears Roman is having Shane help train him. We get an HR, heated rivalry reference here, the gym water bottle scene, and another gratuitous shot of Roman pouring water all over his chest. You know, I wanted to note during these moments, we can see that Shane is clearly cracking, and Roman's seduction techniques are finally getting to him. After training, Roman disappears and we are introduced to Sasha, Roman's former trainer, played by Alexander Raphael Cruz. We gather from this interaction that Sasha is pissed and jealous that Roman has chosen Shane as his new toy. Sasha has goons hold Shane down so he can beat him up. And unfortunately, we see an almost SA scene, an assault scene, which is thankfully stopped by Roman showing up just in the nick of time. Roman says, you touch what is mine and you're dead. Well, he didn't say it quite like that, but you know, he said it way cooler. And look, I know this entire episode is just like a gush fest from me, but like, oh my God, these lines, the script writing, the way Tristan delivers all of these lines, to me, he's making them iconic at this point, completely quotable. And I feel like BL fans are going to be quoting them for years. After the assault, Roman takes Shane home to help get him cleaned up and care for him. So what is about to happen here, guys, is what BL fans are always hoping to see when we start a new queer vertical. This is one of the very few BL verticals that has ever pushed BL fans over the cliff. Like, in my opinion, hard, with no Fs given. So to me, when I saw the scenes about to come up, I just felt like Cosmic Verticals just said, you know, you guys asked for this, here you go. And, you know, we're just hanging out by the cliff, just chilling, about to watch this cool scene, and the Cosmic Verticals just comes up behind us and just, bam, shoves us off the cliff. Hard. We got nothing. They don't care, and they say, have fun. Okay, thanks, bye. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it makes sense to me. They really went for it.
They did.
They did. So we get our first highly anticipated kiss that Shane willingly initiates, clearly thankful Roman saved him. We are then treated to the hottest shower scene in any vertical of all time ever. So thank you, Cosmic Verticals and DramaPops and Tristan and Declan, for being so comfortable to just go for it. Seriously. And I think this would go into X-rated if I broke down this episode. So I'm just going to say, go watch it, guys. Okay. We're not that type of podcast. So just say, go watch. The next day we find Roman and Shane in bed together. Roman is a little distant, which is confusing to Shane. And my personal assumption here as a viewer and a mass consumer of these is that Roman liked their evening together far more than he should have, and he's struggling with his new feelings. Clyde, the butler, arrives to help Shane get ready for a party he's supposed to attend with Roman that day, and apparently he's going to be gifted to the partygoers from the Volkov family. Shane is rightfully confused and says, Roman just wouldn't give me away. During this whole scene, Declan is just chilling in those extreme tidy whities. Very reminiscent of Waterboy and Pool Boy, where he was pretty much wearing tiny-ass gold shorts and tiny-ass white shorts. And now he's wearing tiny-ass tidy whities. By the way, that underwear was his choice. Correct me if I'm wrong, Declan, but I swore that was said that you chose the tidy whities. Ultimately, Roman doesn't allow Shane to be given away, and we move to the party scene. I do feel like a lot of these last few episodes were about emphasizing Roman's internal struggle about liking Shane a lot more than he realized. So here we meet the glorious Raquel again, who is conspiring with the butler. That per Roman's father's orders, they are going to have Shane removed. That Shane is trouble. When Roman is called away, Raquel finds Shane and kicks him into the pool. We see Sasha is involved, and him and Raquel proceed to try and remove Shane from the party. Roman isn't having it and returns in the nick of time to stop Raquel at gunpoint. We are treated to a gorgeous little speech delivered by Tristan where he says, I can't do this part in Russian, guys. Like, my Russian's terrible, but I'll just say it like straight. He says, I am gay and I am in love with this man, all while he waves a gun around in his hand. It's very dramatic. After Roman declares his love for Shane, also to know about when Roman declares his love for Shane, I have heard comments from people that said they think this is too soon, so that they haven't been together long enough for him to say that. While I do agree, honestly, I think my brain automatically went to assuming Roman has known Shane in boxing circles for a while already. And honestly, in my mind, I was just thinking that he must have fallen for him, like from afar, just during whenever they would see each other before. That's my personal opinion. So also remember, guys, we let certain things go because verticals. Shane is pulled away to meet Roman's father, while Roman is busy getting them drinks. We meet Constantine, Roman's father. I don't know who the actor is, guys. I'm sorry, I could not find him. Definitely drop the name for us for next time. So Roman's father offers Shane a lot of money to leave Roman. He ultimately convinces Shane that without Roman's family, Roman will have a bullseye on his back. Roman arrives to stop it just in time, where he proceeds to tell his father that he won't be part of this family anymore.
I have to say here, later on, Roman does tell Shane that he fell for him the moment that he knocked him down.
I forgot about
I'm
that.
sure you're right. He probably knew him from boxing circles, but he just kind of was fell in both ways. Fell in the ring and fell for Shane at the same time. But yeah, it really feels far too fast. But I think, as you say, it's pretty common in verticals to kind of fast forward through to those to those points in the story.
Agreed. All right, guys, episode 29. It is the motherlode of all BL smut scenes, guys. So, there are a few out there that are... So there are a few BL verticals out there that are close to this. But this... I'm sorry, this is endgame. So PSA to all other apps and production companies, please learn from Bound to My Hot Rival, okay? Thank you. Thank you. So we are gifted with Roman and Shane consummating all of their love for each other. So once again, I won't go into detail, but I am going to fangirl squeal. After a night of passion, we get to see Roman and Shane cuddling in bed and talking about their future. They are interrupted by Clyde, telling Roman that his father has had a heart attack. Roman and Shane rush to Konstantin's side. Shane is made to feel guilty during these episodes by members of the Volkov family, telling him he's causing nothing but problems for Roman. When Roman gets really scared of losing his father, Shane gets a text message he keeps from Roman. It is a picture of his coach, Jax, tied up and tortured. The texter tells him to come alone. Shane decides to kill two birds with one stone and leave Roman forever. We get a very sad goodbye scene where Roman is too upset about his father to realize what is going on. When Roman finally sees his father, Konstantin confesses he made everything up to separate Shane and Roman. Shane arrives at a warehouse where he finds Jax tied up and beaten. Raquel and her goons are waiting for him. Raquel makes Shane sign a contract saying he will leave Roman alone forever, or else she will kill Jax. When he does sign the contract, Raquel doesn't let them go and intends to kill Jax. Once again, our hero, Roman, arrives looking incredibly badass, by the way. Just FYI. And Tristan, aka Roman, then proceeds to give my favorite freaking speech of the whole damn vertical, and I'm going to quote it right now. This has to be quoted. This is great. Let me make this clear to you. I will talk to you like child, so listen good. You touch him, and you're touching me. Hurt him, and you're hurting me. If you disrespect him, then you are disrespecting me. The mind that dares to think of him, I'll blow it apart. The heart that feels something about him, I'll rip it off. Should your hand touch him again, I'll cut it off. I love that. I love it. I love the whole thing. I can't deliver it like Tristan, but the way he delivered it, dang, it was good. It was powerful to me. I loved it.
So,
A fight ensues. An incredible fight scene, by the way. Best one I've ever seen in a vertical. While the men fight, Raquel realizes her men are losing, so she takes a bag of money and runs. Roman and Shane chase after her. She leads them into a freezer and locks them in. This episode is so hard and sad and beautifully done. Honestly, to me, Declan's acting was everything. I think he really showed he has what it takes in this vertical, meaning that he's a fantastic actor. And in a lot of the real shorts and good shorts and some of the other apps, the way it works is you are going to overact. And that's all I've seen Declan in. I think I've seen him in Strange Creatures. His husband, Riley, produced that, possibly helped write it, and they starred in it. And Declan played his boyfriend in that, and there was no overacting there in the little bits I
you've
saw.
seen it?
Parts of it, only scenes. It's supposed to be released on Amazon Prime. Oh yeah, let's do a shameless plug-in. Riley Nottingham, Declan Clifford's husband, is also a filmmaker on top of being a fantastic actor, and he has made films and shows. So Strange Creatures just released in theater in LA, I think about a month ago. There was a premiere, and it's supposed to release on Amazon Prime, but I haven't heard from anybody, so I'm assuming it's soon. Yeah. But Declan was in it with him. And again, Riley produced it, I think helped write it, starred in it. It's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see Riley do that, because the other show I saw Riley do was The Metrosexual, and that was pure comedy. Back to Bound to My Hot Rival. Sorry, guys. Tangent, squirrel. So Roman and Shane cannot get out. Roman goes down first and won't wake up. And then just a reminder, since I went off on that tangent, guys, Raquel led Roman and Shane into a freezer and locks them in.
She didn't lead them there. They followed her and ran in there, and she came back to close the door. She'd gone past it, but...
Oh, okay.
Because I just watched it today.
Okay, perfect. No, that's perfect. Okay. But she did lock them in, right?
She locks them in, but they were chasing her, and they went into the freezer to see if she was in there, and then she comes back and locks them in.
Okay.
So she didn't lead them in there per se.
Okay. Cool. I was going to use what you said.
Oh.
So you're talking, but you started hitting things and squeaking your chair.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
Listen, guys, I think you should just leave that in for once, and I can explain to you that poor Lucy is editing this, and I fidget, and my chair squeaks, and she wants to kill me. So
I don't want to kill you. I love you. It's all right. Just talk French to me and I'll be okay.
uh-huh.
All right, here we go. All right. So Roman and Shane cannot get out of this freezer. Roman goes down first and he won't wake up. We see Shane completely lose it, and he does everything he can to warm Roman up. They are eventually rescued by Jax. He has Raquel with him, and he has control of Raquel. The camera pans on Roman and Shane. We see Shane lying on top of Roman to try and keep him warm, but they are both fully passed out. Paramedics arrive and announce they can't do anything for Shane, but Roman is still alive. We see Jax lose it and tell the paramedics to try and save Shane. We got to a hospital scene where Roman wakes up but doesn't know where Shane is. He leaves his bed to find him and does find him in another hospital room when Constantine arrives. Constantine confesses he went too far and that Shane changed his mind by protecting Roman with his life. We cut to a new episode where we are back in the boxing ring during a match. The announcer, who does a great job by the way, calls out Roman and Shane who are fighting again, but they never arrive for their match. We get to see that Roman and Shane are still up in the locker room playing around and making out. Yay! Shane is alive! So we get a little treat here of Shane asking Roman, do you want to come to my cottage this summer? And okay, so that is definitely a heated rivalry reference. Honestly, guys, it was not necessary, but it was clear that Tristan and Declan played it off like they knew about heated rivalry in this reality, and I think it plays off well. So I was okay with it. All right, guys, the last episode. I want to preface this with, to me, this is the most beautiful ending of a BL vertical in my, oh gosh, let me take this back. Any vertical I've ever seen. They kudos on this ending. So we get to see that it is years later, and we see a little girl practicing punches at the same boxing ring where it all began. It becomes clear to us that this is Roman and Shane's daughter, played by Kinsley McTague. We hope I said McTague right. McTague? McTague. Thoughts and prayers for us, guys. McTague. Kinsley McTague. Honestly, what a great choice of an actress. I think she did really good in this scene. As their daughter runs off, we end on Roman grabbing Shane's butt. So I think that's a perfect ending, guys. And I like the ending song.
You know, it's interesting because a lot of people, including us, have noticed the heated rivalry references throughout. But something I noticed when rewatching was the comic book elements with textures on, you know, certain parts and the sort of tearing paper effect with the titles and bright colors and the introduction when they were introducing the characters. And along those same lines, the very moody, sensual lighting and cinematography, which reminds us of heated rivalry, also reminds me a lot of those Marvel Netflix shows. They had a very interesting, that dark vibe and very dramatic. So, and I think the villain, Raquel, as you've said, was really so good. She was excellent. And I loved the kick into the pool. That was really well done. Tristan and Declan were absolutely fantastic as Roman and Shane. And I was a bit worried about the accent, but Tristan did great. He really went for it in the spicy scenes. And as I said before, the fight scenes were also really very well done. Even though I'm personally not a fan of boxing, I can really appreciate how realistic they made it look.
Oh, I agree with that. I think that's why this vertical did so well and is still doing so well is there was so much thought and care put into it. Like, yes, was there the unnecessary heated rivalry references? Yes, but I almost feel like those were an afterthought. I don't think any of that was in the original script. It just couldn't be because I feel like the story itself, it just held up so well on its own.
I feel like all of the vertical companies are trying to capitalize a little bit on the heated rivalry success. So we're seeing a lot of that.
No, I agree. I think they started doing that with Drive 'Em Wild. It was originally like Drive 'Em Wild with Heated Rivalry, but they came to their senses.
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad they changed the title.
Yeah, so um but ultimately I think this vertical was so good that so many people looked past the Heated Rivalry references and still loved it. I do think for next time, I hope apps feel like they have good enough scripts that they don't need to do that. This was a good script, guys. It really was. And, is any vertical perfect? No. But it's very clear that Declan and Tristan put so much of themselves, so much effort into these, not necessarily themselves, but they put a lot of effort into these characters. And you can tell because of the effort they put in, I think it really translated on screen. So, kind of where I ended up, my favorite vertical is Straight Until He Kissed Me. Really, Greg and Evan have been a huge reason for that. Other than that, it's a really fun vertical. But Bound to My Hot Rival, upon seeing it last week, it's actually right up there with Straight Until He Kissed Me. Like, I can't say I like Straight Until He Kissed Me more than Bound, and I can't say I like Bound more than Straight Until He Kissed Me anymore. Like, it's equal. I know. It's different, though.
Gasp.
I know. It's just because it's different vibes, right? Like, I can't pick one over the other. One is serious drama, and the
Mm-hmm.
other is like goofy rom-com. So, I'm very pleased that an app has put out a new BL that could compete with Succum for me.
Mm.
There hasn't been a lot, like there's been great BLs, don't get us wrong. We love a lot of them and we're going to talk about a lot of them. But this one was insanely special to me. The other thing that I think is so important is I feel like we just need to keep this up. We need to keep making more queer verticals. I hope we get into girl love, as I said earlier. I hope we start having trans representation as well. There's so much to unpack here, but I really hope Cosmic Verticals, DramaPops, Tristan and Declan realize that, yeah, was this a spicy BL? Sure, it was. But it actually was almost more than that. It's representation. These verticals, the queer verticals, they give people an opportunity to feel safe, to feel seen. It tells people, hey, you can feel passion. It's okay to feel passion. It's okay to feel passion for someone of the same gender. That's huge. That is huge to me. And so I really hope Tristan and Declan understand how good of a job that they did. I was already a fan of Declan, but after this, he's been elevated for me. Just really knowing how much he cared about playing Shane and how much care he put into it. And Tristan, he just came out of nowhere. He blows my mind, this young man. He is so talented. And I think he was thrown into, here you go, do a Russian accent. And I think he did incredible with what he had to work with. And I'm just so proud of the two of them. I am going to become a year subscriber to DramaPops, honestly, just because of how good this BL was. I now have high expectations of you, DramaPops. And Cosmic Verticals. I'm expecting really good content like this, and I do plan to watch their straight ones as well. They do look good. Anyway, thank you all for more soapbox from Lucy. Thank you.
Well, besties, that was Bound to My Hot Rival on DramaPops. We definitely recommend that you check it out if you haven't already. Next time, we'll be heading in a very different direction with the laugh out loud romantic comedy Drive Him Wild, which is on Drama Wave and stars Greg Duffy and Jeff Lawless. We hope you'll come back to hang out with us again. Bye, besties.
Bye, besties.